Okay, well today is Monday, May 24th, 2021, and I think for tonight I'm going to make my sleep well stew. And one of the things I've done for this last month, because pineapples were on sale, and pineapples help to break down protein, and because my sleep well stew has a lot of beans in it, which has a lot of protein, I thought, since they were on sale about a month ago, I theorized that maybe if I eat some pineapple an hour or three before I eat my sleep well stew, that the pineapple might help break down the proteins in the beans better than without the pineapple. And it seems to be working well for me. So because it seems to be working well today, and because I plan to make my sleep well stew tonight, I'm thinking that right now I'll go ahead and cut up a pineapple and eat the pineapple. It's almost 5 o'clock right now. It's about 4:53 p.m. So I'm going to eat the pineapple. Then I'm going to go to Walmart, pick up a recliner chair with a warranty, and then when I come back I'll make the sleep well stew, and that should take about a 2-hour period between the time that I ate the pineapple and the time that I'm eating the sleep well stew, and I think that'll be a good time for me to go ahead and eat the sleep well stew. So because the sleep well stew has beans, which has a lot of protein, I'll go ahead and cut up that pineapple, and then I'll head on over to Walmart, and let's see, you know what, I think if I put this, tripod on my stove, I'll get a better shot of my workspace. As I cut up the pineapple. Okay, so we got the pineapple coming out of the refrigerator. And I had the pineapple, it was stored, the half of it was stored on a plate like that. Go ahead and cut off the base. I've got a nice flat end there, nice flat end there. So I'm just cutting off the rind of the pineapple. Now I'm going to go buy a recliner from Walmart because I've broken I've broken two chairs in about the last, I'm going to guess it's been about 18 months since I broke the first one, and it's been about 3 months since I broke the second one. And I know at Walmart their warranties are very affordable. So I believe I'll be able to get a affordable recliner with an affordable warranty from Walmart. And I want to get this recliner now because tomorrow I'll be starting a new job which is likely, very likely, to give me body aches. I'll be doing a lot of physical manual labor and I'm likely to get body aches. And I think today would be the better day for me to bring my chair up the stairway. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got the pineapple ready. I'll go ahead and eat the pineapple. And then I'll go over to Walmart and pick up the okay, so I've got my pineapple ready, and I'll eat the pineapple and then I'll head straight over to Walmart to hopefully pick out a recliner, and then I can bring that recliner upstairs. And the reason I want to do that is because my new job, which I start tomorrow, is very likely to give me body aches, and I'm concerned that with the body aches I might not be able to get the chair up into my apartment, and in addition to that, that I will need a comfortable chair to help the body aches go away. So I'm thinking this is a kairotic moment, K-A-I-R-O-T-I-C, kairotic moment, meaning everything is coming together in such a way that this is the opportune time to get the job done. And I think the purchase of a new recliner needs to happen today, given that a body ache job is likely to be the job that I start tomorrow, and that I'll need a comfortable place to recover from those body aches. And once I've got the body aches, that will not be the ideal time for me to carry the chair up into my apartment. So I think I'm going to eat the pineapple, then I'm going to go to Walmart, then I'm going to come back, bring the chair upstairs. Maybe I'll assemble the chair tonight, maybe not, but then once the chair is upstairs, regardless of whether I put it together, I do plan to make sleep well stew tonight, and there's a good chance that I'll make a video of making that sleep well stew. So that's what I'm up to right now on Monday, May 24th, 2021. That's it. We'll see you later. Bye. Well, it took me a little bit longer than I expected, but I think I got a nice chair. Took me a little bit longer than I expected to get it. Walmart didn't have any in stock at the store. I guess it's all done online. So I went and went to 2 furniture stores and found this one. Anyhow, I really want to go make that sleep well stew. So I'm going to pause the camera and set it back up in the kitchen. Okay, well, I washed my hands. It's time for me to make the sleep well stew. So I think I'm going to do the rice over here, and I'll do the onion over here. Let's get this going. So big old pot. We'll get 4 ounces of rice. So this jar here is roughly 8 or 9 ounces. I'm using some Trader Joe's Quick Cook organic brown basmati rice. I don't think the lighting worked for that. So it's Trader Joe's Quick Cook organic brown basmati rice. Put 4 ounces, roughly. So about half a jar. Okay, and what I'm going to make here is enough for 2 separate meals. So I'll probably have half of what I make today, and then I'll have the other half tomorrow. In other words, tonight I'll have leftovers. Okay, so the rice into the jar. Then let's say about 5 cups of water. So there's 1 cup. Two cups. Three cups. 4 cups. 5 cups. You know what? I'm going to add 1 more. 6 cups. Okay. We'll get a lid on that pot. Get the rice cooking. Start out with high heat, and now we'll do the onion. Okay. Let's just cut the onion up right here since that's where the camera's pointing. Okay, we'll peel away the crinkly. Get some olive oil into the bottom of that pan. And let's do some cutting. This is how I cut an onion. This is how I dice an onion. I'm sure there's people out there that know better ways of doing it. I haven't figured out a better way yet. My goal is to make little onion bits. And once I'm done doing this, I'll have a bunch of little onion bits. So I'm content with this process. I should mention that the burner underneath this pot is not yet on. If it was on, my hands would be way too hot. Okay, so now I've got a bunch of onion bits. Spread them around so that they'll get hot when I turn the burner on. Good enough. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn on the burner. Take the camera so you can see the burner go on. And just to make sure that the burner stays lit, I'm going to give it some time to heat up. Slowly bring it down to all the way low. And you can see we still got the burner burning. All right, next step. So now I'm going to move the camera so that you can see me grind up some chia seeds and flax seeds, peppercorns, put those all into a dry bowl. So that's going to be my dry bowl. So we'll start out with about a ½ ounce of chia seeds that are going to go into my coffee grinder. And I know from previous experience that that's roughly ½ ounce of chia seeds. Grind them up. Okay, I think let's take a look at the rice. You can probably see the steam coming out of the rice. So I'm going to turn the burner down a little bit. I haven't turned the burner completely down, but for about the next 3 minutes or so, I'm going to let it get a substantial boil inside that pot here. Let's show you what it's doing in there. It's not a super high boil, but for about 3 minutes I'm going to let that rice, I don't know if you saw that. For about 3 minutes I'm going to let that rice boil. Back to the dry stuff. Okay, got ½ ounce of chia seeds in the coffee grinder. Pulse them a few times, then shake them up. Really want to grind up those chia seeds. They're going to go into that water. Oh, I should have mentioned, most people would say that 6 cups of water in with that rice would be way too much water, and it is for the rice, but I know I'm going to be adding the chia seeds, the ground up chia seeds into that. And the ground up chia seeds are going to soak up a lot of the water. And nutritionally, I don't think we lose any nutrition by having too much water with the rice. So I'm going to stick with putting too much water with the rice, because my main goal is the nutrition values, not the taste or the texture. At this point in my life, I'm trying to get as much nutrition as I can. Okay, I'm going to guess that that's been about 2 minutes with the rice, so let's go ahead and turn the rice down a bit. The heat on the rice. Not all the way to low, but I want to reduce that boil down to a simmer. Okay, so next step is flax seeds. I'm going to do with the flax seeds the same thing that I just did with the chia seeds. Only instead of half an ounce, I'm only going to put a 1/4 ounce of the flax seeds. Now, flax seeds are super healthy, but they also tend to give me really bad gas. So that's why I do half as much flax seeds as I do chia seeds. I want to be kind to the coworkers. Okay, there's the flax seeds. Some peppercorns, ground peppercorns. Okay, so here we have organic peppercorns, whole black peppercorns, and I'm going to put just a little bit. I'd say that's what, maybe 1 or 2 dozen little black peppercorns. Grind them up too. Sprinkle them into the dry mix. And some salt. Today I'm using Himalaya pink salt. And that is it for our dry ingredients. So now what we've got is an onion that's sauteing over here. And I don't smell it yet, so I'm sure it needs some more time to... It's not even sauteing, it's on a lighter heat than a saute. It's just going to heat up and steam, and you know, when I can smell it, maybe I'll wait a minute or maybe 2 or 3 minutes after I can smell it, and then I'll turn the heat off. So I guess what I'm saying is for the next 20 minutes or so, all I'm really doing is I'm waiting for the rice to gently plump up with the water, and for the onion to gently heat up a little bit, so that it's not so crunchy. And actually, I guess there'd be nothing nutritionally wrong with having the onion be crunchy, but the heat's going to soften it up a little bit, and the gentle heat should allow some of the nutrition to remain as opposed to high heat. So I think I'm going to turn the camera off for about 20 minutes. Right now it's 8:35. Right now it's 8:35 p.m. And I'll turn the camera back on probably around 8:48. So yeah, I'll go ahead and turn the camera off, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, so the time is now 8:48, and I'll go ahead and check on the onion and the rice. Onion is gently cooked, so I've turned the burner off on the onion now, and rice looks nice and plump. Go ahead and turn the burner off on the rice, and let's get some butter into the onions. What I've got here is organic butter and regular butter, conventional butter. I usually buy organic, but I happened to come across some conventional butter, so I want to use, I'm using, half of what I'm using is going to be conventional and the other half will be organic. Once I've used up the conventional, it's not likely that I'll buy any more conventional. It's more likely that I'll just buy organic. So that was the conventional. Here comes an equal amount of organic. Okay, put that back in the fridge. Wash the butter off my fingers. Okay. Add some turmeric. I think I mispronounced it. I think I should have said turmeric. Oh, and the turmeric I'm using is organic turmeric. Dokily, where are we at here? Okay, into the rice I'm going to add beans and corn. So what I've got here are organic black beans. I'm going to shake the can a whole bunch with it upside down to try to get any of the beans that have stuck to the bottom of the can to get suspended in the liquid within the can. And then those beans, when they're suspended in the liquid, will flow out of the can much easier, and I won't have to scrape around to get those beans out of the can. Okay, let's go ahead and open that up. Oops. Let's go ahead and open that up. And add them. Oops. Okay, I'm going to move the camera. So this little contraption will help me strain the beans and wash away the liquids. And you can see there's not even one bean in there. Not even one bean in that can. That's because of the shaking. Okay, let's Let's rinse that out for recycling. Okay, get this into the in with the rice. Come back over here for the corn. Same kind of process for the corn. Shake the can while it's upside down. Here we got organic, whole kernel corn, no salt added. Okay. This is going to have some corn kernels stuck to it just because corn is kind of funny that way. But not much. It's pretty empty. Rinse it out for recycling. And rinse away the yucky water that was packed in with the corn. And bring the corn over to the rice. Oops, the rice and the beans. Okay, now let's wash out the little strainer quickly, just to make cleanup that much easier. I found that if you rinse your strainer immediately, you don't end up with a very hard to clean strainer. Instead, it's a very simple process. Just like that. Okey dokey. Okay, we'll take the camera back over this way. And mix in our dry stuff. So here's our dry bowl. Grab a spoon, mix it all together. Remember, I was kind of indecisive on whether I wanted 5 cups of water or 6 cups of water, and I decided on 6 cups. I think in this particular case, 5 cups would have been fine. But having the soup or stew a little bit watery isn't going to hurt a thing, I think. Add in the onion. Now, I'm not going to go too crazy with cleaning this out, even though there's still some good stuff in there, because I'm going to, remember I said that I'm going to have leftovers, like I'm going to eat half of it today and half of it tomorrow. Well, half of this will fit right into this little shallow frying pan, and that's what I'll eat from tonight. And then once I'm done eating, then I'll pour the other half into the frying pan, and that frying pan will go right into the refrigerator to make holding the leftovers very simple. So let's go ahead and pour our sleep well stew. Half of it right into the frying pan. Now the first thing that went into here was the liquid. So let's get some of that liquid back into tomorrow's portion. And that's about half. So that'll be tonight's meal. That'll be tomorrow's meal. But after I eat this, I'll pour this into there, and then this frying pan will go and fit very nicely into the refrigerator for tomorrow. The only thing I haven't done yet, I haven't added the Parmesan cheese, and I haven't added the salmon roe caviar. Tonight I don't have any salmon roe caviar, so I'm going to have to bypass that tonight. But I do have Parmesan cheese, so at least that part will still go into it. Go ahead and oh, and if you want to know, the main source that provided me with the information that the reason I call this sleep well stew is because I found out about the benefits of chia seeds regarding how they help foster a good night's sleep. Regardless of what time of day you eat the chia seeds, when you go to bed, you're more likely to have a really good night's sleep because of what the chia seeds do for you. And the book that explained that to me is a book called Brain Foods, The Surprising Science of Eating for Better Cognitive Power, or something to that effect, by Lisa Mascani. I think just the fact that I was able to recall that, the title of the book and her name, I think says a lot about the efficacy of some of these meals that I'm eating. In other words, these meals really do help with brain power, I think. Anyhow, it is now 9:01, and I was hoping to be eating during the 9 o'clock news. See, 9:01. And so I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to turn off the camera. I'm going to eat that now. Let's mix up mix the cheese into the soup. And like I said, if I had salmon roe with me right now, I would add a very small forkful of salmon roe caviar into this, but I just don't have it. And again, it was Lisa Mascani's book, Brain Power, The Surprising Science of Eating for Better Cognitive Power. It was her book that also recommended the salmon roe. So I'll eat this while I watch the news, and then that means that the pot will be empty, the frying pan will be empty, so I'll take what's in here, I'll add that into the frying pan, the empty frying pan, and cover it, put the cover back onto tomorrow's portion, and then tomorrow's portion will go right into the refrigerator. Hope that all makes sense. Anyhow, that is Sleep Well Stew. Have yourself a good night. And hopefully things go well with this job that I'm starting tomorrow that is very likely to leave me with a whole bunch of body aches. But I did get myself that nice chair. So hopefully I'll be able to recover from those body aches. That is it for right now. Have a good night. Bye. Okay, so now it's 9:23 and I've already eaten what was in the frying pan. So I've had my dinner and now I've still got this left over. So we'll add that to the frying pan, and then the frying pan can go into the refrigerator as leftovers. So okay, so we've got leftovers for tomorrow, and we'll just pop that right into the refrigerator. Like that. And that is it. I am done for the night. I think I'll take a shower to help me get a better night's sleep. And got an early start tomorrow at a brand new job. It's probably going to kick my butt. But I've got a nice chair that I can recline in, hopefully recover. And that's it. That is it. I made the sleep well stew. I ate the sleep well stew. I've got a good breakfast tomorrow. If I don't make anything else, I can just pull that pot right out of that frying pan. I can pull that out, put it on the burner for about 7 minutes, and that could be a breakfast. But I'll probably do something else instead. Anyhow, that's it for tonight. Have a good night. Bye. Okay, well, it's now been a full week since when I made the Sleep Well stew and videotaped it. And over the course of the last week, I was able to get over to Whole Foods and pick up some salmon roe caviar. So I'll be adding that into today is Memorial Day. I'll be adding this into tonight's batch of Sleep Well stew. But in the editing process of the video that I made last week, I noticed that it wasn't clear when I cut the onions. The technique that I'm using, part of the technique, is that I push forward as I'm going down with my first cut. In other words, after I've done my first 2 perpendicular cuts on the onion, and I'm ready to make the little chunks, I'm not just pushing straight down, I'm pushing forward. I'm holding most of the onion with my fingertips, and I'm pushing forward while pushing down, and then I pull back. And that combination of movements is what works very well for me. So I'm hoping the camera is picking this up as I'm doing it. So I'm pushing forward and down, and then back. Forward and down and then back, forward and down and then back. But the forward and down is all one motion. So anyhow, once I get everything done, I'll come back and I'll add the salmon roe. I'll add the salmon roe into tonight's batch, and then I will have made a video that has everything that I do for a Sleep Well stew. So I'll be back with that soon. I'll be back to add the salmon roe. I'm going to turn off the camera for right now, and then I'll be back. Okay, well, I've got a whole new batch here. Right now it's an entire week beyond when I made the previous parts of this video. So This I just made today, Memorial Day. That I just made today, Memorial Day, 2021. Today I do have the caviar. So I'll go ahead and add the caviar into the, well, first let's stir together the cheese into the Parmesan cheese into the sleep well stew. So again, this is a whole new batch, an entire week later from when I made the previous part of this video. And we'll just go ahead and add some caviar so that you've got a complete video that shows everything that goes into the sleep well stew. I got the caviar from Whole Foods. And we'll take a plastic fork. They say you're not supposed to put metal in with caviar. So even though I'm going to eat this with a metal spoon, even though it's inside a metal pot, I used a plastic fork because the plastic fork is going into the caviar, which is going to go back into the refrigerator. And you can see I took just a little bit. And we'll cap it back up. You know what? I'm gonna double that. I'm gonna take another little bit, because it's not a good idea to store the caviar for a very long time once it's been opened. So I should be able to get about 3 helpings of, in other words, 3 makings of my sleep well stew. I should be able to do with this 3 or 4 with this jar. And that is it. I've mixed in some salmon roe caviar. I'll eat this tonight. Then tomorrow, or after I'm done eating this, I'll put that in there. That'll go back into the refrigerator. So that tomorrow morning I'll have something quick and easy to eat. And if you're wondering, things have been going well with the new job. Not too many body aches. That's it for me. Have a good night. Bye.